Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Surfer's Journey. Today's video is all about the best small wave board out there. I've tried a lot of boards over my 20 years of surfing, and one stands out above the rest in small conditions. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe now so you can stay up to date with all of my latest videos and tutorials. But for now, let's have a look at what this board is. So at first glance, you might assume that by me promoting this surfboard, I've got some sort of secret deal going on and that's why I'm promoting it. Well, that's absolutely not the case. I pay for boards just like anyone else, and that's why this video is so important. I know what it's like to go out and buy a board and it's not quite what you're after, especially with small wave boards. A lot of shapers promise that a board will cover a whole range of wave types and sizes, and you get it and try and surf it in small waves and you struggle. But this board excels in small waves, and here's why. Well, the board I'm talking about is this board right here, the Machado Seaside model. I surf mine in the 5.2, which comes in at 26.5 litres. There are 3 reasons why this board is my favourite in small waves. One is because it generates speed so quickly. It glides over fat sections, and it also has a lot of spark. In this example, you can see that I'm paddling into a wave, and I only do one slight high line here, and that sets me up for this carve in the pocket. Now you can see the wave goes quite fat, but this board holds its speed and gets over those fat sections better than any other board I've surfed. And when you put it on rail, it accelerates through. You can see here that as that board goes on rail, it speeds up, and it feels unreal, and it feels better than any other board I've ever surfed in that regard. Despite the fact that this is a 5.2, paddling this board is really easy, and you can see after a couple of speed pumps down the line, this board is flying. Paddling into this wave here, I knew that it was going to be quite fat, and you can see that. But like I said before, when this board is on a fat section, it'll hold its speed and still allow you to generate speed. The Seaside is an incredibly forgiving surfboard, and this here will demonstrate exactly why that is. This footage came from the day before, and I had a surf on an 8-foot longboard, and then literally the next day I jumped straight onto that 5.2 Seaside and managed to surf it with success. And that changeover period, which you would think would be quite hard going from an 8-foot longboard to a 5.2 high performance fish, well, to be honest with you, that transition was a lot easier than I was expecting. Now, while the Seaside doesn't have the same paddling power that this longboard has, I would still consider surfing the Seaside in similar conditions that I would consider surfing a longboard in. 1 to 3 foot, slow mushy waves. More than any other board I've surfed, the Seaside excels in those conditions. It allows you to have a lot of fun when the waves look terrible. To prove to you that I'm not lying about that transition from longboard to Seaside, this was the first wave, and you can see that I was pretty comfortable despite that big size difference. Spark is the last attribute to talk about. And when I talk about spark, I'm talking about the ability for a surfboard to do things like this. A surfboard that allows you to feel comfortable to push the boundaries of your own surfing. This board allows you to do that, whether it's to slide the tail, do a big carve, do a reverse, do a 360, do a chop hop, do an air, whatever it is. This board makes you feel comfortable to have a crack. But like any surfboard, the Seaside has its limits, and I would say up to 3 foot, and the board starts to get a little bit too loose. And that's where I'd consider stepping up to something like this, where I've got my 510 high performance shortboard. In conditions like this, the Seaside would feel way too loose and out of control. By stepping up to something which is longer, thinner, and has more rocker, it's going to allow me to push that board faster and harder when the waves are bigger and steeper. As I've said many times before, there is no one trick pony. If you can, it's best to have certain boards for certain conditions. And in my eyes, the Seaside is the standout board for small waves, and it's what I'll be going to next time the surf's anything between 1 to 3 foot.
Guys, thanks for watching the video today. If you surf small waves often and you find that your current board isn't quite cutting it and you're looking for something to spice it up, I would definitely recommend this board. Like I said, I don't have a hidden agenda by promoting this board. All I'm doing is sharing a board that goes really well for me, and I hope that it'll go really well for you. Remember to like the video and comment below to let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Thanks guys, I'll catch you in the water.